All right, Crossroads family, we are back again with another episode of We Are C2, getting to know the family. And as we've shared with you on the other episodes, we are starting with our deacons and kind of working through letting them be the guinea pigs. And we're getting near the end, so be ready for Sharon to give you a call, send you a text, and start lining you up. I think what we'll do is after we get through the deacons, I think we're going to wait and hold the elders off till the end because we all talk so much anyway. If you don't know, that's true, I do. If you don't know Ken and Julie and Sharon and myself and Daniel and Kristen as much as we're up in front of folks, you just need to get more involved is what needs to happen. But we will hit all of us, but we wanted to hit some of the folks that you may not always get a chance to know as easily. Folks that do more of the behind the scenes type ministry. And so I think what we'll do is after we get through, we've got the Groffs with us today, and then we've got the Holtz, and they'll be the end of our deacon interviews. And then I think what we'll do is we'll try to like intersperse folks, do like a new family, and then a family that's been here for a while, and then a new family and a family that's been here for a while. So just kind of intersperse everybody in there. I got to thinking as we've been doing our deacons that for the most part, our deacons have been with us for a long time. Each one is like, you guys have been here for a long time. And same thing with the Groffs. Donnie and Julie Groff, go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
And Donnie and Julie have been with us for a really long time, and it's really not necessarily intentional. I mean, you don't have to be here at Crossroads for a long time to become a deacon, although it kind of looks like that. It's not like you have to be here for 15 years or more to become a deacon, but it does kind of look like that because our deacons, we don't rotate our deacons out. Our deacons don't term out. And there's pros and cons to that, but we kind of think that that we see the role of deacon as a calling, kind of a shape. People that are shaped to serve. And although we don't expect our deacons to just be stuck in that position, we rely on them to step out when they need to take a break or something and let others rise up to those opportunities. But so as a result, our deacons that are in place right now have been in place for quite some time, and Donnie and Julie Groff are some great servants that have been serving in our church before being deacons and after being deacons for quite some time. Donnie and Julie, how long have you been a part of the Crossroads family?
Probably 16, 17 years, something like that.
Yeah, most people gauge it by how old their kids were when they first came. How old was Faith when you guys first got here?
She was 3.
The stall.
I think she was right around 3.
Okay. And she is
almost 20.
Almost 20. Wow. That's great. That makes me feel old.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, while we're talking about family, why don't you just kind of tell us about your kids and your family?
Okay. Well, we have 3 kids: Hope, Buddy, and Faith. Faith and Buddy are pretty involved. Hope doesn't really come anymore. Sometimes, well, she's watched it at home with us.
Oh, good.
As we've been doing during the COVID, but she's not a come into church.
Yeah. There's still hope for that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get her back. She's been doing duty as nanny for the Sussex over this season, hasn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then Hope how old is Hope? 24?
24, I think, yes.
And Buddy is 23.
2.
Oh, 22 then. Yeah,
22.
23 in August.
Okay, so he'll be 23 in August, and Hope and Faith will be 20 in August, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So you guys are empty nesters like us now, Kind of.
Well, sort of. We're in a different. We haven't kicked them out of the nest yet. We've been trying.
You've
They've tried.
emptied the nest of your responsibility. The chicks are just still there, right?
With this COVID, Buddy's in the sunroom with his office, Julie's in the bedroom with her office, and Faith is in her bedroom
Doing
Yeah.
her
doing hers.
schooling.
And
Yeah.
then if I'm home, I'm in the living room.
I've heard the secret to this is you just move to a smaller place, and they have to go.
Well, that's what Donnie's folks did. So we figure we'll probably have to do the same thing. He woke up one morning and his breakfast wasn't there.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, poor Donnie.
Oh man, that's I feel bad for you, Donnie. That's kind of
It's all right.
rough.
Just a little payback there.
Yeah. No doubt. So when you guys first started attending Crossroads, how did you all hear about the church?
I think it was through a friend of mine
Okay.
who had invited us when they started coming, the Halversons,
Okay, yeah.
Shannon. But we never came while they were still there. It was one of those always in the back of my mind things. So when we started looking for churches, I remembered her telling us what a great church Crossroads was. So
Very cool. Very cool. I don't know that I knew that. I don't know that I knew that connection, because you all and the Ungerers both came really close to the same time, didn't you?
mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if you guys knew each other before you came, or if you met here, or.
Yeah, no, we met there.
Okay. Yeah, how about that? So I have heard that statistically they say that it takes like 7 times for a thought to become a seed thought to sprout. And so we've heard that just from the standpoint of billboards and flyers and different kinds of marketing, that sometimes people will they'll put a brochure about your church in a drawer, and then 2 or 3 years later go, I saved a brochure from that church, but it's after they had heard about it through 6 other venues, and go, I need to find that brochure. It's in a drawer somewhere. So yeah, that's interesting. So is there anything that sticks out in your mind from when you first came to Crossroads? A person, a sermon, an illustration, a song, a skit, anything like that?
No, I think the one thing is that, well, it was after we had been coming there for a while. We just felt comfortable there.
Yeah.
It was more the feeling, but I know we were, at the time we had a trailer and we were gone a lot of the weekends. We'd go spend weekends at the lake. And I remember one time Daryl called after we had been to the lake we had missed quite a few Sundays, and you called, and then I felt guilty for not coming.
He was probably just calling to make sure everything was okay and all that. And Julie's like,
Yep.
No, that is that.
When Daryl came by and did a cookie drop. When Julie was, I think she was at work that evening, and the kids were with me obviously, and he brought a cookie drop by not too long after we started going, and that was our dinner that night.
Oh, nice.
sounds like how you are with the kids.
I know,
when
right?
The kids are
Yeah.
little. Cookies for dinner.
Cookies for breakfast. Which I never understood that. Why is it wrong? You can serve sugary cereal for breakfast. You can have donuts for breakfast, but it's wrong to have cake or cookies or ice cream.
You just have to have coffee cake.
Oh. See,
It's a breakfast food.
yeah,
Coffee cake.
all those breakfast foods are so sugary anyway. Pancakes with syrup and cereal and donuts. I'm just figuring, birthday cake with coffee is fine for me, or chocolate chip cookies and coffee. I was thinking of something. What was I going to ask? I don't remember what it was now. Were the cookies good? Did I make them, or did somebody else make them?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago.
It was. I miss doing cookie drops. For the last several years, people just don't give their address. So it's hard to do a cookie drop when you don't have addresses. And we finally just got to the point where we took, write down your address off of the guest card because nobody wanted to give their address. Of course, times have changed.
Yeah.
And I understand that. When I'm a guest in a church, I don't give them my address either. So anyway, so how are you guys involved in loving and serving the body here at Crossroads?
Oh, been several different avenues over the years.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
the
there's
latest,
been-
we got a small group we're trying to get going now. So sort of. Been
Yeah.
slow, but
The Grunger group.
yeah.
Yeah, the Unger part of the Grunger group moved to Liberty.
Yep.
Yes.
And
So,
Angie, if you're listening, Angie tells me they're not going to miss a Sunday. They're still going to be faithful to Crossroads, even from Liberty. So we're going to hold you to it, Angie. But yeah, you've led life groups. You've been part of life groups. Julie, you were like our preschool leader for years in preschool. Of course, serving as deacons. Donnie serves on our safety and security team. Helps keep our building
Yeah.
up and running.
AC running.
Yeah,
We really appreciate that.
absolutely. Mama likes her AC.
yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different ministry teams and groups and personal ministry. I won't embarrass you guys, but Donnie and Julie definitely are your behind the scenes servants. They don't like to be out in front of folks. They don't want recognition, and they just like to serve and do it for the glory of God. Anytime Donnie does something and I send him a thank you, hey man, I really appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. I get the logo from our T-shirt. The cross is greater than I, or the cross is greater than me. That's his way of saying you're welcome, and I really appreciate that. Now, neither of you are Kansas City natives. Where are y'all from, and
How'd you end up here?
yeah, how'd you end up here?
Well, we both grew up in Northern Virginia, and we met through work and started dating. And then not too long after that, we got married, and Julie's middle brother, Peter, lived out here in Olathe. And we came out and visited him and liked the area, and it reminded us of Virginia in a certain way, years ago at that time.
Yeah.
And it's a little more affordable here than Northern Virginia. So,
Very much so.
Yeah.
after we got married, we moved out here, and when 6 months we were out here, he got transferred back to Virginia.
I wondered how that happened. I was like, I didn't know Peter lived out here.
Yeah. So,
That's funny. Now, Northern Virginia, you're talking like DC suburbs, right?
Yep.
And did both your parents work in DC?
uh,
Well, my dad did. He worked, well, his office was in Crystal City for a long time. He did contracting with the government. They built the Aegis project. His company, or he worked for whatever and to design the Aegis project, which is like radar on Navy ships. They did Scud missile defense. They did all
wow.
that during the Gulf War and stuff. So he's always worked kind of close to DC.
Okay.
my dad worked in the restaurant business.
Okay.
Yeah, and Fish Market in Old Town Alexander. He ran that for years.
Wow. And both sets of your parents are retired now.
Yep.
And do your parents still live in the same area, Donnie?
No, they right before we got married,
Mhm.
they moved from Virginia down to Georgia. My mom was originally from Georgia,
Okay.
so they moved down there. My mom got to spend probably 5 years or so with her mom before she passed away.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, they're still down there.
Okay.
There's lots of family. She had 10 siblings. So
Wow. Big family.
yeah,
Wow. And Julie, your folks are in
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Portsmouth, Virginia.
Yeah.
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 right
Real close
across
to
from
Virginia
Norfolk.
Beach.
Yeah, Norfolk
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. Yeah. We've actually been down there with them when we were on vacation, and they had us
Yeah.
over for dinner, and really both sets of your parents, we'd love to have them all here at Crossroads. Every time they come to visit, it's just like they belong here.
We love them.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, so you guys met in high school, or you met at work? You were
Met
out
at
of high
work.
school, but you met at work. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey of faith coming to Christ. What part of your life did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, for me, I never really grew up in a church. And after we were dating, well, while we were dating, we started going to church with Julie's family more. And of course, after we got married, I'd follow her to church most of the time.
Mm.
So, and it just gradually grew on me. So
Yeah.
And then you were discipled by when
yeah, I believe it was Dick Owen
mhm.
on another church. We were kind of did a discipleship for a little while, and that's kind of when we got done with that, it kind of stuck after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you would say that was here after you lived here?
Yes.
Yeah.
The other church.
Yes.
Yeah. So you would say that was probably when you came to faith in Jesus, when you put your trust in Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Yeah. And then you got baptized here, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we got baptized there, and then I think also we got baptized at Crossroads.
I don't think we've got cross at Blue Springs.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Okay.
So
And how about you, Julie?
well, I came to know Christ young.
Mm.
And I've just always grown up
Yeah.
with them. So.
Yeah. What kind of churches did you grow up in?
All through my youth and high school, I went to a Presbyterian church.
Okay.
So,
Very
but
good.
I've never been a denomination.
Mm.
I mean, we've been to well, of course, I grew up in the Presbyterian church, but we went to Blue Springs Christian Church, Lutheran, Methodist. We've been to all different kinds. It's not
Yeah.
not a label of a
Right.
particular religion. It's about the relationship.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really about what you believe the Bible says and the relationship you've built on that.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what do you guys do? What do you guys do for a living? Where do you work? How long you work there?
Yeah, let me go. I'm a service coordinator right now. I work with older senior adults. I've worked with also developmentally disabled adults, and I still work with some of them if they live in our building, but I work out at Oak Grove Manor now.
Okay. Okay. And how long have you been in that field?
I've just been there I'm coming into my 5th year.
At Oak Grove Manor?
At Oak Grove Manor.
Yeah. But then the residential houses with developmentally challenged adults, you did that for several years, didn't you?
Yes, I've done that. I did that for probably about 7 years. And before that, I was a full-time mom. So.
Yeah, I remember when you
job.
first started working again outside the home. Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Donnie?
I work in heating and cooling. I've been in the trade probably 22, 23 years. I'm at a commercial shop right now, and I've been there almost 19.
Wow. Now, were you in heating and cooling before you came to Missouri?
No, actually, I was an auto mechanic. I did that. I did that most of the time, and then I actually had a neighbor that I kind of hooked up with, and he was in heating and cooling, and he was in the sheet metal union, and I was kind of interested in it, so I took a day off my work and went with him one day, and I was like, yeah, I can do this.
Wow.
Switch careers.
How about, I did not know you used to be an auto mechanic.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually the last couple of years I worked at Fort Osage on school buses.
Hmm.
Very cool.
And if they were short a driver, guess who got to drive?
Oh, fun facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Now, let's see. Faith is, of course, in college right now. Buddy is working for an engineering firm, right? Downtown
Yes.
Kansas City.
Yep. Yeah.
And what is Hope is in nursing?
We don't. Hope is a free spirit.
Okay.
We see her occasionally.
You think she still lives there? Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
She comes upstairs and grabs breakfast most mornings, so that's when I see her on her way out.
Now, is there a passion that you're currently pursuing? I mean, just a passion that God's put on your heart that you're currently pursuing, or maybe a need that you're feeling called to meet currently?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, yes and no for me. I go in spurts. I mean, like right now with the the lockdown didn't help anything, but
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get out and do something, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is yet, but
And it is. We've been so limited. Like even, you guys were talking earlier about your small group trying to get it started. That's really
Yeah.
hard to do right now with the way everything is. I mean, it just it makes it more difficult to be able to do some of these things.
Yeah. Julie, what were you going to say?
well, I was going to say, really, I think one of our gifts is generosity. And there's been a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
that we've gotten to practice, but it's not something we talk about.
Sure. Absolutely.
So-
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll talk about something. I remember I mean, this is just one of those big blessings that, I don't even know if you guys know, but, as when we were younger and our kids were younger and we had horrible cars that wouldn't survive and all of our parents lived, away, and you guys were always so amazing letting us borrow your van to be able to go see family or go on vacation, and you guys were just always so generous about that, and it was just such a blessing that we got to receive from that generosity that you guys are to the core. And I know that there are hundreds of stories out there of people that not just with necessarily the van, but with just in general, because you guys are very generous. But I know that's something that was a huge blessing to us in years where our cars weren't so reliable.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford to do anything else.
Yeah. That's a beautiful example of, because you guys have probably for about as long as we've known you, you've had 3 cars when there was only 2 of you driving. And Donnie always drove the little gas efficient car, the little tiny gas efficient beater to work every day, because it's a
long drive.
Olathe, right? Olathe, not
Lenexa.
Lenexa, yeah, is where Donnie offices, and so he'd drive the little gas efficient beater to back and forth to work every day. And they had this beautiful. You still have it, right? The van. This beautiful red Town and Country van, right?
Yeah.
Chrysler Town and Country. It had all the bells and whistles, and it's probably 20 years old now, isn't it? I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an '06.
Yeah.
It's an '06. Okay, so yeah, it's getting up there in years. And then it was one of my favorite vehicles, the big blue pickup truck. It wasn't a quad cab, but it was an extended cab. And there weren't a lot of trucks in our church back in those days. And Donnie's truck got borrowed a lot, a lot. And there may not be hundreds, but there are certainly dozens of families that have borrowed the Town and Country van a lot of miles. And again, not just for, tooling around town. You've loaned your van out for people to go on vacations, and Donnie and Julie have just been, what's ours is ours, and what's ours is yours if you need it.
Yeah.
And that's
Huge blessing.
that's just really been a huge thing. So and every church needs a few Donnie and Julies, and we really appreciate you guys. All right, so enough talking about you. Let's hit some fun facts. Are you ready? It's still talking about you, but they're fun facts. Dog or cat people?
Dog.
Dog.
Everybody's been a dog person.
Yeah, we haven't had any
Dog.
cat people yet. Donnie, are you a dog person?
Dog.
Yeah, more than cat for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, allergic. We have cat allergies here, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. What's your favorite 2 movies? Your 2 favorite movies?
Grease and Footloose.
Oh, those are
Wait,
awesome.
no, Sound of Music.
Wait,
That one's good too.
are you changing?
Yeah, I have to add Sound of Music. So probably Grease and Sound of Music.
Okay. I love Grease and Footloose too, though. That's funny. What about you, Donnie?
Probably my first favorite would be like The Hunt for Red October,
Ooh.
and I don't know, probably one of the Star Wars.
Okay.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah. and we've had some activities where we've done, like we used to call them snacks, a Sunday night at Crossroads, where we do different dances and things. And yeah, I remember that. That's cool. Let's see. So here's one I've not asked before. Who was your favorite teacher growing up, and why?
Probably for me would be middle school, probably Mr. Moss. He's the wood shop teacher.
Okay.
He was real strict but fair.
Okay.
He would actually thump you on the head with his ring if get you back in line.
Did you have that happen quite a bit, Donnie?
No, I didn't. Didn't take me very many times. Maybe once.
Oh, what about you, Julie?
Oh goodness, probably Miss Martin. She was our 6th grade teacher, and she was my 6th grade teacher, and probably just because my friends were in her class, the people who end up being my best friends all growing up, we met in her class and got to hang out. So it was probably more just the social. She allowed us to have those friendships during class as well as outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one. Straight and narrow or wild child?
I'm the straight one. He's going all over the place.
I wouldn't say wild child, but free spirit, I think, is the better.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Especially if you're going to compare yourself to your husband, free spirit compared to.
That's where Hope gets it from.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is. I recognize her and me are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you love that? We get to see all that in our kids.
she can't do anything because I know exactly what she's doing or why she's doing it. I'm like, wait a minute, I know what comes next.
Yeah. How did you know? I've done it before. I was thinking you were going to do it before you thought about doing it.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Mountain vacation or beach vacation?
Beach.
Either. I probably do. I like either one.
Yeah.
I'd be like Donnie would say, stay home.
But see, I grew up going, I grew up, I guess I grew up going to the mountains. Every summer was spent in the mountains. So for me, that's more a home versus a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Julie would rather do a cruise.
Yeah.
Donnie would rather just
Sunshine.
stay home.
That's funny. That's funny. Planned out vacation, like adventurous planned out vacation, or chill out, just winging it?
You know what?
But probably both for me. I mean, like, when we went to Italy probably about 4 years ago, that was all planned, and that was excellent. And then, I mean, internationally, I think you have pretty much got to do planned.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, I mean, I can do winging it sometimes.
No, you guys, they refuse to let me plan vacation because I have things planned. Like I pack our vacations with so much stuff that I want to see while I'm out doing it. They're like, you don't have any downtime in here.
Are you waking everybody up at a certain time, making them go to bed at a certain time? And
Well, no, I'm not quite like that. But like when I had all sorts of things that I wanted to go to see when we were in Vegas. We went to Death Valley, we went to Grand Canyon, we went to the Hoover Dam. What else did we do? There was one other thing that I made us do. Anyways, I had things planned out every day, and the last thing that I wanted to do, the kids are like, no, we just want to relax.
We're tired from our vacation.
yeah, let's go home so we can. Let's go home and go back to work so we can rest from vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Is there, if you could go back and do it again, and you you could do anything you wanted to do and get paid for it, what would be like your fun dream job?
Let's see, cruise director.
Traveling food critic.
Yeah.
A traveling food. So you guys could just own your own cruise line, and Donna could critique the food, and you could be the cruise director.
I'm a landlubber, so probably not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe with her next husband, she can be a cruise director. All right. Last one. It's been my last one for most of our deacons. Having been here for 16 plus years, and you've been through ups and downs, comings and goings, and just really been a consistent, stable, just rock solid stronghold here in our church, for us personally, as well as for our body and many in our body. What advice do you have for new folks coming in?
Get involved. Find a place to get involved.
Connect with somebody and just give it a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Don't wait for people to reach out to you. Reach out to somebody.
Yeah, we were just talking about our church has they've said that I don't know who they are, but they say statistically that churches have a tendency to take on the personalities of their pastor, and our church really takes on more of the personality of our pastor's wife than of the pastor. Whereas Daniel and I are both a lot more on the extroverted side. I would call myself an extroverted introvert. But occupationally, I'm I can definitely be extroverted, but for the most part, our church is all a bunch of introverts. I mean, and now we do have some extroverted introverts, but for the most part, we've got way more introverts than we do extroverts, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that can be a little hard, as a church, because, people they want to feel welcomed, and they want to feel like they're walking into a friendly environment. And when you got a bunch of extroverts all going, I don't want to go up and talk to him. You go talk to him.
You mean introverts?
Yeah. Introverts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's great advice. Don't wait for others to include you. Just jump in. Yeah. That's good. And hopefully, I don't mean to say our church is unfriendly in any
Yeah.
way, shape,
It's
or
very
form.
friendly.
We just did a really large Crossroads Connections class. And we had, I don't know, 12, 16 people. We did it by Zoom.
Zoom.
But we heard that over and over again, that they just, I feel comfortable, feel like the church is friendly. We've been welcomed. We've been to a lot of places where we didn't feel welcomed. So, even in the midst of the fact that we do tend to be a little introverted, it's a great place to get in and get involved. And
Wonderful people.
yeah,
Wonderful people here at Crossroads.
absolutely. We love our church deeply, and hope that those of you that are watching that are new, that you find the same contentment that all the deacons that you've heard so far have found, the same joy and the same relationships that we've all had for many years to come. Any parting words from the Groffs?
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're having service tomorrow. If you haven't yet, let's see. If you haven't yet, please register for tomorrow's service. And you can do that through the Church Center app. Go into Church Center at the bottom tab, go to events, and then click the only event that should be showing. And it says the Sunday morning worship experience. Get registered so we know how many we're counting on being here tomorrow in person. And then, of course, we'll be live streaming the service tomorrow as well. So thanks, Donnie and Julie, for inviting us into your home, or letting us barge into your home, whichever way you want to interpret that. But thanks for sharing this time with us, and thanks for watching and listening, Crossroads. And I hope it's been a good experience for you as well. And until the next time, we love you, and God bless you.
Thanks. Yeah.